Welcome to The Clown is Down, where you can get mad at us for our opinions. This is Keith.
And I'm Pete.
And in each episode, we will be bringing out our innermost feelings about a wide variety of subjects, from action figures to crosswalks,
Movies to beluga whales.
So sit back and give us a listen.
Remember, we're doing this for you.
Double remember, it's just an opinion. Hey, welcome to The Clown is Down. This is Keith.
And this is Pete.
And it's time for a new episode. So, I know that there's a show out on this right now, but we have been watching a lot of movies lately, especially in October. I watch more movies in October than I do any other month. So October's over now, and I have a lot to say. So basically, it leads into our subject we're going to talk about.
What are we talking about today?
What are we talking about tonight?
This time,
yeah.
Whenever you're listening to this podcast.
Our subject is how my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. That's what? Right. It's what? Oh, no, never mind.
What? If you say so. So milkshakes.
No, we're going to talk about cliches and tropes.
And tropes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess they're really, it's weird. I wanted to do a history on, I like doing history on things, but then just try to do history on something like a cliche and trope. It just really comes down to two sentences. Basically the definition of them. And you just have
Seems like it's been done before.
Yes, very much.
Beaten to death.
Yes. So I'm just going to read what Webster calls a cliche. And they say it's a phrase or opinion that is overused and betrays a lack of original thought.
Agreed. 100%.
And a movie trope are devices for telling a story that communicates something figurative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess for our discussion, we'll use the two interchangeably, because I think they're the kind of the same thing. I think when you say trope, people understand that it is what it is. It's the cliche. It's the overused, the done to death ideas and phrases and the whatevers that movies, the unoriginal parts of the movies that we watch. And we watch a lot of movies.
Yes.
So you said you watch a lot of movies in October, a lot of horror movies.
I feel like in October is the time I get to watch all those movies because they're always on. They're always on a different station. So, you get to pick and choose. Now, all right, this is going to make some people say, man, go to hell to me. But one thing I was sick of this month, last month, was same thing they did last year on a lot of stations, was they played more of the Halloween movies than they did any of the other horror movies, as in like Halloween, the series, Michael Myers. Do
you think that's because of the new movie coming out?
Well, but see, they did it last year too, and they did it last year too. It was just constantly on. It was either constantly Halloween.
I mean, that is a pretty deep well you can go to. I mean, there's a lot of Halloween movies, and it is right there in the name, Halloween.
But there's 31 days, and there's a lot of hours in the days.
Right, right. I agreed. And you could put some Freddy Krueger in there. You could put it's TV, so that I would think that they have to also keep that in mind, that it is TV, it is basic cable that you're watching. They can't put trauma movies up. They've got to. Yeah. You can't always put Texas Chainsaw Massacre up at primetime 8:00 at night. You've got to put something like Halloween that you can edit out a little bit. You can work that down to just a few killings, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and this is the part where I think that I'm going to anger people after seeing so many of them and watching so many days of it. I'm hunting for something else. I'm like, you just fucking play something else.
Anything else.
Yeah.
Christmas is right around the corner. You could put those Hallmark movies on.
Because I think Michael Myers is a great character. I think it's Halloween, the original, it's just a great horror movie. But it got to the point where I saw so many of them that I just got so sick of him. The only Halloween movie I ever want to see again is Halloween, or the original first one, or Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I'm not kidding you.
I like Season of the Witch.
I do like Season of the
Witch. I did like
it
when I first saw it, but I've learned to
because it's fun to watch. It's like, oh my God, this is stupid. And I love it.
So is there something in these Halloween movies that's just beaten to death and that's done over and over and over? Or is it just that it's the Halloween series? I mean, if we're talking about tropes and things like that, what in these Halloween movies are they doing over and over? Is it just that it's the same Michael Myers going through the same motions?
It's every one of the movies. It just feels like it's the same.
Well, that sounds like unoriginality. I mean, we've discussed in the previous podcast that there's a large swath of Halloween movies, quote unquote Halloween movies, Michael Myers, that just suck. Like really, like 4 through like 14 are just are like hot garbage. And it's the first ones and the last ones that are really the only decent ones in there.
See, I realized I was feeling like that was when I was flipped through the stations, and all of a sudden Leprechaun 2 was on, and my brain went, oh, thank God. And like at that moment, I was like, oh, wait a minute. But just going back to seeing things that like these horror movies are doing that are like the cliches and that I just wish they would stop, is when I was watching, I think it was one of the remakes of Friday the 13th. And it was like, when the killings are starting to happen, Jason's out there. And what annoys me, it's just, and I see this so much in all those movies, in all these horror movies, is but this one in particular, because this is when I started thinking about all this. He's chasing someone, he kills someone in the woods. You hear the people in the house hear someone, like, they know he went out, he's dead, he's out there. They shut the door. And then one person goes outside, and then Jason's looking at him, standing in the woods, staring at him. And then all of a sudden they go inside for a second and they come back out, lightning flashes, and all of a sudden he's on the roof.
Yeah, Jason just gets up there magically.
He's just standing on the roof. And I'm like,
I mean, he's still a dude. He's still got to get up there.
See, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, I would love to see his 6'6" hulking just body, just like trying to climb. Just old, like mangled body, just
that gets into my
the machete up on the roof.
Yeah,
slowly
the magical. So you think the trope is the magical villain, is how they can move with ease and silence, and
you see a cracked window and they're just happen to be in the closet, like
right.
It's like, dude, if the guy's going to go, or the killer's going to go that far, I think they're going to either shut it all the way or just leave the whole thing open all the way.
Right, but these killers, they probably don't smell the greatest either. I mean, I'm thinking their personal hygiene probably isn't top notch. Jason and Michael Myers, they're probably not getting a lot of showers in. They're probably not doing a lot of laundry. They're gonna be noticeable. Like, they're gonna get in the house and be like, "Hey, do you guys smell that terrible hippie smell?"
There's something dead in the walls.
Yeah, and that's the whole the whole horror movie thing. The let's split up. First of all, in horror movies, why do people not know how to use a light switch? What is wrong? I would be turning on every fucking light in existence, because I'd want to see, what, 6 of my friends were already dead and I'll just hide here. No, turn it all on. I want to see you coming from like 10 miles away. Turn it all on. Hey, let's split up. Hey, let's not split up. Let's all stick together, because then we'll have more of a fighting chance. If this dude does break in the room, I can hold him down while you're punching him or kicking him. Let's not ever split up. Let's work together to find a car, find a phone. Splitting up's a terrible idea.
Not saying, hey, you go and turn on the power here, I'm gonna go. We can get it done faster. No.
I don't want you out of my sight. I don't want to be out of your sight. We're sticking together, because in 10 minutes, I don't want to be like, oh, where's Billy Bob? And then find you hanging upside down, headless in a closet. That's not what stick together. I want a horror movie that does that. That's what I want. I still want them all to die. That'd still be the whole point of a horror movie.
I think, even as as the viewer, sitting there, like when I was watching that one scene, just like the lightning clash as he's standing on the roof, I was like, that to me, I was just like, it didn't. I guess I'm just numb to all this stuff.
It's been done. Yeah.
It's been done. Like, it's just, but like, what would be more scarier to you is if you were the viewer, if you felt like you were inside the house and you heard him, the killer climbing.
Yeah. like you said, like throwing his machete.
I know exactly.
And then just being like dragging a ladder over, trying to find like a bucket to stand on, and you're kind of like in the house feeling kind of like he's kind of taking a little while to get up there. Does somebody want to go give him a hand or something? No, I've got it. Hold on, I'm getting up there. Could you hold the ladder steady? And he's got to climb the ladder. Yeah.
Could you imagine like he throws them
that just magically
and it misses and
goes over, so he's got to go around the house, pick it up and come back.
He's trying to climb up on the wood pile and it slips. You hear him just go,
hey Jason, should we wait? Are you good, man? Fuck, I'm really gonna kill you. Yeah, let's split up. Yeah.
But like those two just like that was just like sticking out like to me, and like the kills, like I guess going back and watching some of the old ones, I always try to think, I gotta put myself there, I mean, it wasn't a cliche yet, you know what I mean? Right. Like, when you're watching the old ones,
it was still scary then. Yeah, that's what the cliches and tropes were built off of, the older movies. That's where it came from.
But when you watch several of one series, looking at you, Halloween,
yeah,
when you watch a lot of them in a row, I mean, it kind of it starts losing itself to me. You know what I mean? Like I go, okay,
it's just a copy. It's losing it every time they do it. It's just from the last one,
and that's why I go back to say, like, I think that the original Halloween is just it's phenomenal.
It's golden, man. It's
golden. And I love that character and I love it. And I just cease now. I'm just like, a new one came out. I don't care. I really don't. I don't even want to. I just
because how it's going to end, and that there's going to be the lightning flash scene, and that somebody's going to run and fall down, and he's going to murder everybody, and Laurie's going to get away. Yeah.
So what? Yeah. What other ones that are like in horror movies right now? Just off the top of your head, that I'm trying to think of things that that a lot of people haven't really talked about, you know what I mean?
That's not so much horror movies, but because I watch a lot of action movies. I like action movies. I like action movies and comedies. That's my wheelhouse, where I sit. That's where I go, and that's where that's what I watch. And I don't want to get into the whole the hero never running out of bullets. That's been beaten to death. Everybody's talked about that. But the one trope, the one thing in movies, like the action movies I watch, is getting shot in the shoulder. That pisses me off to no end, because that's like the safe zone where the hero can get shot, where it's not a mortal wound, but there's a lot going on in the shoulder area. You can shatter a lot of bone in there, and it's still bad. I don't understand that. It bothers me to no end. That's the safe zone to be shot in. You're still getting shot. It still sucks. Flesh has been torn away from your body. It's not like it's a BB gun. I hate that.
Yeah, I can see, like, I've stepped on a nail before and it's gone up into my foot, and trying to walk after that, like, just that's a nail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and again, to be fair, we are not trained killers. We haven't been dealing with explosions all day and people shooting at us. But I can imagine, I've shot guns before, even small guns. I would not ever want to get shot by anything. And the whole getting shot in the shoulder and then still continuing on and be like, it's not a big deal, or digging the bullet out with your hand. Like, that's not how that works at all. That's you're going to go into shock. You're going to pass out. And what kind of terrible villains are hiring these people that can't even hit their man-sized target at like 10 yards? That's bad hiring practices right there. I'm not a fan of
that. I'm with you on that, because I'm with you on the action movies and comedies too. And like action, I know this has probably been talked about, but I just want to touch on it, because the waves of enemies, you know what I mean? Just the amount that comes in. Because it
seems like a waste of money from the villain's point of, that's a lot of, all right, you got to employ these people. I'm assuming it's a full-time job, because they're always there. It's not a part-time gig. They don't have any side work or anything. They're given uniforms. They're given like weapons, and weapons they're not cheap. Even if you're buying in bulk, weapons and ammunition, that costs money. Training to use this stuff, I'm assuming a lot of these guys are ex-military or whatever, and these waves of enemies that come out here that are just killed. And now that I'm older, it's funny when I watch an action movie and like the guys die, the hero comes in and like he kills all the people. I'm like, somebody's got to call that guy's family. That guy's random thug 37 somebody's calling his mom, and they're gonna have a conversation. They're gonna be like, Miss Thug 37, have you spoken to your son lately? We have some bad news for you. And then I start getting like lost in this whole story about Thug 37 and his mother just like crying her eyes out, just like, where did I go wrong? And yeah, it's yeah.
Then the movie's over. You're like, wait a minute. Whoa, no. Rewind.
You just murdered a lot of people. Yeah, sure, you got the bad guy, but you killed a lot of people.
Well, I think like, when it comes to like waves of enemies, like the ones that I think that were done right for me was, I thought in Kill Bill, the Crazy 88, when they came in,
that was good. I like that. And I hate Quentin Tarantino, but I liked Kill Bill, and I'm a fan of that scene.
That was a great scene. Okay, one I didn't like when I was at the theater and I saw this with you, and I was staring at it, and I was just kind of like, I found myself looking at my watch to see what time was. Age of Ultron.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the end scene, man, with just the waves and waves and waves of robot. And I was like, and I kept going, how long is this going to go on? Because it was
with that many robots, you should have been able to do a lot more.
Now it's different for like zombies, because like they do it right, because they all just grab you at one time.
Right.
That's the scary part of it. When it's like waves of the villains, like one attacks one at a time while others are standing around. I'm like, dude.
Well, like you said, the Crazy 88s from Kill Bill makes sense.
Yeah,
because you can't have a bunch of people and there were swords all at once. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, if there's like 6 guys surrounding the hero, jump him. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen in real life. Jump him and boot party him, and there you go. You've captured the hero. That's a good job, Thug 37, and 38, 39, 40, 41. Jump on them all at once and beat the crap out of them. You can do karate later. You can do karate whenever you want, but hero is not beating up 6 guys at one time when they are all kicking you in the face. This is I don't know. And that goes to the poor hiring practices of the villain. Why are you not checking these guys' backgrounds so they don't have any fighting experience? Or are you hiring bodies? Are you just here hiring bodies? In these action movies, the noises that firearms make, God. It's like a baby's rattle.
Yeah.
And guns don't make that much. I mean, they do. There's a little play in certain firearms, but a lot of firearms they're made to very high spec and high tolerance. They're not made to jiggle around and
clack
and click it. Yeah, like are you holding a rattlesnake or are you holding a handgun? You don't. It's not.
Oh, I totally agree. It drives me crazy when every time someone pulls something, it sounds like it's cocking.
Oh yeah, it's got a cock every time, and I'm like,
every time they hold it.
Yeah,
didn't you already cock that? And like, it's
yeah. Oh yeah. I think The Walking Dead did it. I want to say it was The Walking Dead. The number of times a shotgun gets racked and not fired, I think we counted like 4 times. One individual racks a shot, and maybe he shoots it, and we don't see that, but like he literally like racks a shotgun 4 different times without firing it. I was like, you don't even have anything in there anymore.
Yeah, didn't I expel the shell when it
shell goes flying out every time, and I'm like, you may have 1 shot left, but all your shells are on the ground, dude. You should pick those up. Yeah, that's I understand why it's done. It's done for effect. It's done for the racking of the shotgun looks cool, and it looks cool in the movie. It always does, but yeah, that's one of my pet peeves. I know not everybody gets that, and not everybody understands, but it that bothers me in movies. That's why I didn't want to get into the whole running out of ammunition. That's why I like John Wick. John Wick movies were really, the attention to detail in the actual firearms and the shooting was really cool. I appreciated that from my point of view. I like that.
Oh, that's the other thing is I see a lot happen is when someone say like, you have your action hero, or you just have, or just someone in there and they're shooting a gun, whatever, when it runs out, they throw it away. They throw the gun away, or they throw the magazine away. They take the magazine and throw it away. And then they like just pick up the other one. And like, it keeps moving on. And then you see them again. They have, everything's just there. Like, just like, there's just magazines laying around everywhere. Everybody just picks it up and just,
I wish
they all fit.
That's the other thing is, I've seen, they'll throw the gun away, and I'm like, maybe you could find another magazine, maybe just put it back in your holster.
I know exactly. Put it back in your holster.
You actually have
as
a pouch.
hammer.
Yeah, you could you could bludgeon. It's a piece of metal. Smack somebody in the head with it. You don't. Yeah, that bothers me.
But yeah, those are things that, like, as you get older and just viewing movies so much, like you're watching it and you go, why'd you just do that? Yeah.
Well, another one, as we get older, men, you and I, we're fathers now. We're older. We're middle aged. We're middle aged dudes with kids. One of my pet peeve tropes is the bumbling father.
Oh,
and it's big in commercials. It's in a lot of the funnier movies. The bumbling, incompetent father pisses me off to no end. I just, and I know movies exist where both parents are completely competent and can raise their children, but the bumbling father trope, the ignorant, stupid, doesn't know what's going on in his house, that bugs me so much, because no parent should not know what's going on in his house. I mean, and if this guy's, and they always live in some nice house. That's the funniest part of it. It's always some nice, well put together house with like well maintained vehicles and all this stuff. But the dad doesn't know what's going on. I'm like, yeah.
How did the paint get on the walls?
Maybe he's tired of hearing your shit.
I know what you mean, because like I've actually I have taken note on, like, ever since becoming a father. I take notes on, like, when I'm watching movies, seeing how the parents are.
Right.
And I have to say, there is one movie I'm pretty positive this is the right movie, and it's a comedy. Easy A.
I know. Yeah,
it might be Emma Stone.
Emma Stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's her, like, and her parents on that just seemed grounded.
Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci, and the other one.
They seem very out of place because they know what's going on.
Yeah, they just seem very normal.
Do I know all of my kids' friends' names? No, absolutely not. Do I know the important ones? Yes, I do. Like, I know the best friends, and I know the close friends. Do I know every random kid that my kid comes in contact with? No, absolutely. Does that make me a bumbling father? No, it does not. But that's one that kind of that bugs me because I'm older now, and we're dads, and it pisses me off to see that the dad not knowing anything, or and in every other aspect of his life he's well put together. I'm like, if your husband is that incompetent, what are you doing with him? If he doesn't know what's going on in the house, if he doesn't know, if he can't have basic motor skills, what are you doing with the guy? That's on you, lady. Come on.
Thinking about this is in a movie. This is actually a kid's book. The Captain. We were talking about this the other night. The Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain or Berenstein?
It's Berenstain. There was no time loop.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right, but the Berenstain Bears. The mom on a majority of the covers of the book always looks pissed.
Yeah, she does. She's always got her hands on her hips.
Looks pissed. Yeah. And we were pulling them all out and looking at them.
Bear, you got a good tree. You live in a great tree. You got some. What are you going to be pissed about? You wearing clothes?
Looks mad as could be.
Damn. That's tropes I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, she's like, I know.
And that's not even like a bumbling father, that trope or anything. She just seems to hate her family, because her, from what I remember from the books, is they all got it together. They know it's the kids. They do well. Occasionally they get into a little trouble. The dad seems to be doing his thing for whatever.
Carpenter in his
carpenter. He's Papa Bear. He's doing his thing. And what is she so pissed about? Did your life not turn out the way you wanted, Mama Bear? The hell, man. What are you so mad about? You got two great kids. You got a husband with a great job. You live in a great tree.
They have a convertible.
They have you live in a tree and have a convertible. What are you so pissed about, lady? Come on. Your porch too hot, too cold? What's going on there? Oh God. See, I'm learning tropes I didn't even know about. What other tropes? Oh, Nerds. The trope of being a nerd. You know what? There really are no nerds anymore. That's nerds. Nerds are cool now. Fucking nerds. But like the whole idea of being a nerd and, you know, liking Star Wars, Dungeons and Dragons, Star Trek, and still being an outcast, I'd say no, that shouldn't reflect because you like those things. You're just socially inept. You know, that's a whole nother thing. You know, you're not a nerd because you like, you know, rolling D20s or because you know the crew of the Enterprise. You're a nerd because you don't know how to act socially. It just bothers me. That bothers me. Yeah. They always kind of, you know, put that in. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are into like fantasy football who don't know how to talk to girls either, but you know, you don't see that character on any shows. It's always sci-fi and fantasy and stuff like that.
That would be interesting.
Being a nerd is been pigeonholed. It's the same thing. It's been the same character since Revenge of the Nerds, you know, since the early 80s. The character of the nerd hasn't ever evolved. When nerd culture is very hip now, it's very cool, and it's cool to be a nerd.
Comedies.
What about some
comedy? What else? There's one that I was talking about earlier tonight before we got on. I was asking, I was just kind of like just doing some last minute research on this to make sure that I'm not insane. And apparently, I guess I've just never had to deal with this. Feathers and pillows.
You never had a down feather
I've never had a pillow that had feathers in it. I've
had a down feather blanket, and I can tell you, the feathers will pop out of the blanket and stick you. And they're I've never had a down feather pillow. I know they exist. I've seen them. I don't think they exist that much anymore. Like as much as movies would have us believe.
Yeah, like every pillow is
poorly made pillows too. Yeah. If you look at it funny, they just explode into feathers.
You have this rich fancy house with a giant, you know, the 3-car garage and everything.
Get a better pillow
one time, feathers everywhere.
Like, and again, I've had a down comforter, and they're super warm, they're super comfortable, but you'll like see a feather and you're like, did a bird get in my bed? Oh no. And then I'm like, oh yeah, and it'll just like work its way out. Sometimes it'll poke you in. I'm like, oh yeah, there is actually feathers in this. I forgot about that.
I felt so moronic asking, because I was like, right before, like, you know, before we got on, I was like, hey, are there like really the pillows? I mean, like, is there a lot of pillows that have feathers in it?
I don't think so. You know, I think like, at one point maybe, but not as much as the movies would have us believe. Yeah, I don't think.
I've seriously, my whole, I am late 40s, and to my knowledge, I have never seen a feather come out of a pillow. And like now, I kind of want to like, you know,
get on Amazon, man. Look up down feather pillow.
Beat the hell out of somebody with it and watch it. Like
you should buy one just to see how comfortable it is. And
I don't want a feather poking me in the eye.
Because those are the pillows that you fluff up too. Those, you know, you fluff your pillow. And
I have never seen. I mean, to my knowledge, like, you know what I mean, I could probably go through and go, oh no, this your whole life you've been sleeping on this feathered pillow, and then I'm just gonna take my knife out, cut it open, and just dump it all.
Have it explode. Just start a pillow fight. Just start a pillow fight, and it'll explode, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot of comedy ones. I don't think. One that bothers me is hacking. Any kind of computer stuff is treated like the lowest common denominator. It's you know, where they're just banging away at keyboards. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Everything's clicks with a mouse now. Nobody's clicking and clacking and hacking, and it just bothers me. That bothers me. And enhancing. I'm like, what kind? You know, everything gets enhanced. Just zoom in. You don't have to say enhance. You don't have to type the word enhance. It's like shift and scroll your mouse, and it'll blow it up. What are enhancements? It's ridiculous. Enhance. I think that what Super Troopers got that right. They kept saying enhance.
In crime dramas, the one thing I don't like is that almost everybody's corrupt.
Yeah, that's not, you know.
I get really tired of that. Like that, like everybody could be bought.
I'd like to, because not everybody can be bought. Yeah. There doesn't seem to be any middle ground in those kind of. It's always extreme. The Super Boy Scout or the corrupt cops. I'm like, isn't there just a guy that wants to go to work and leave at the end of the day and like, hey, you want to go get a beer and hang out with these seedy mobsters? No, I'm gonna go home, man. My wife's cooking dinner and. We're gonna watch a movie tonight, and
maybe you should go to bed early and I'll play video games.
Yeah, that's I got a new video game. I'm gonna try that out. I don't want to be involved in your underworld lifestyle. I'd actually, somebody should make a movie about that, where about just a normal cop that works in a police station where all of that is happening around him, and not have him get involved, but like have him intersect through this underlying story of like bad cops versus good cops, and all of it happening like tertiary or in the background. And he's just like, time to go to work. Got to show up. It's 9 a.m. punching in, do my thing. Yeah. All this crazy shit's happening all around him. And he's like, but none of it directly affects him. And he doesn't directly affect any of it. But like, you can watch this entire story play out in the background of it. And he's just like, and there's some other lame, like he's trying to get like, raise money for the PTA or something for his kid, or like his kid's in the soccer championship and he's like trying to make it through the day to get to his kid's soccer, and all this crazy shit's happening around him. But the whole movie, once again, Hollywood has never called me.
Well, listen up, Hollywood. The whole movie could be like based around like a trial. So it's like he's sitting on the stand and he's just like telling how what he's seen throughout the day and what he did afterwards. Right. And they're asking him, you did not see like, defendant taking bribe money? It's like, no,
my wife made a pot roast that night, so I left work at 5 o'clock. I was in traffic for about 45 minutes. I listened to a great podcast. It was a really good podcast about woodworking, and like he goes into this whole thing about that. And then I had to pick up my kid from soccer practice, and the coach there, how he was being a dick. And but you didn't see this guy do this murder. No, but the pot roast was great. So is your clown down for any tropes?
Yeah, feathers and pillows, man. I'm gonna check that out. I really am. I'm gonna go. I'm actually going to.
I think you should buy one.
I think I am gonna have to, and then I'm gonna beat the hell out of it. I'm gonna like.
You're gonna try.
It's messy.
Yeah. I mean, it's feathers, so it's gonna be messy.
I'm going to get me a feather pillow.
Do it.
And I'm gonna tear it open.
Let me know how it goes.
I might make a video.
You should. I think that's really the only way to go with this. You have to make a video.
Yeah, I think mine is
slow motion video. I think you should sleep on it. Give it a couple of nights and see if you want to destroy it. First of all, it might be the greatest pillow you ever bought. You might never go back to non-featherless pillows, non-feather pillows.
Yeah. So for me, I would say. But I think mainly mine goes to horror movies, like just the
unoriginality.
Just appearing like, just being on the ground, all of a sudden lightning strikes. They're in like a completely different spot within like knowing how hard it is to climb up on a roof without a ladder. And I've tried, it's terrible.
It's wet and rainy and he's wearing like work boots.
Yeah. And the Eve, you're going to be dangling.
It's not going to support his weight.
And I just, and the windows, like, they're cracked and like, oh no, we know someone's in there because the window is unlocked. It's like, dude, I don't know. I'm tired of seeing that because like as soon as I see it, I'm like, oh, my eyes roll. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just tired of it because it's just done so much. Much. That's fine.
All right.
What about yours?
Bumbling father. I'm sick of bumbling parents. Bumbling father. I think parents get a bad rap as it is. Why can we have some positive parents like Easy A and show parents that are involved in their lives and know what their kids are doing, and mothers and fathers. Bumbling father bothers me so much. It's really bad.
Yeah,
it's overdone. It's played out. I think it's tacky, and I'm not a fan because I am not a bumbling father all the time.
You heard it here first.
I have my moments. Indeed. You think we're wrong, or you think our clown should not have been down, let us know why. Let us know why we're wrong, or you think we're wrong, because remember, these are our opinions.
That's right. Man, someone let their dog take a dump right in front of our mailbox, and I was hoping that the rain would clean it up today. Yes, and I don't like picking up other people's poop.